hop up on to kind of skirt around the area by kind of taking cover on this cliffside. Just follow this path. It's pretty easy.
It appears that Noble Team's discovery last night was not an anomaly. Large Covenant deployments have occurred undetected, and we are now under attack across the Vieri territory, including orbital defenses. As per the winter contingency, we are countering on every front. Noble's reconnaissance has also identified sophisticated Covenant army hiding canopies, and has pinpointed what's believed to be a landing zone for additional Covenant forces, the origin of which is yet to be determined.
That landing zone has been tagged by UNSC Command as a Priority 1 target. Dead charge link is loud and clear.
Copy that. Acquiring signal lock on the pylon. Detonating in 3, 2.
Incoming!
Might want to hold on to something. Six! Can you hear me?
So for this mission, we're going to start off at Rally Point Bravo, and that will place us after we take down the anti-air gun, the first anti-air gun. We're going to spawn on a Warthog, drive up to this building complex thing. We're going to fight our way in here, and there's going to be a big hole in the ground that we have to get through. There's something came through here. It was pretty big, pretty destructive, but you're going to go through there, and we're going to come to this area, and there's going to be a couple health packs, and there's going to be a nav point that says ordnance. That ordnance is a plasma launcher, but if you turn around on the opposite side, first one here, this next one is right in the section where we take out the second anti-air gun. So you could see right when we come to this section, we could see the mountain in the distance, we could see the gun itself, and we could also see this kind of broken road structure here. We're going to hop up on this pillar.
All right, I could use some help.
On my way. Jack, 6, what's your status?
We're going to pop our heads out right about here, and we're going to pick off the 2 fuel rod turrets with our DMR. So we're going to knock out one, and then knock out the second. Warthog, and we can just peace out. So after we take out those 2 turrets, we're going to run this way, and we want to keep our eye on the turrets because there might be another grunt that hops in the turret.
Jack, 6, what's your status?
run back once the Pelican drops off the Warthog and get in it and immediately just drive to the next section so we can...
What's your status?
I'm not done yet.
Be advised.
And now for this next section, we're just going to roll up. There's going to be 3 skirmishers that we're going to take out. We're going to hop out of our Warthog in a second and then just take them out with our DMR real quick. Easy headshots. And then we will focus on this Tyrant anti-air gun up.
Pony has ID 2 hostile anti-aircraft guns southwest of your location.
Copy, Commander. New target 6. Go shut down those AA guns.
6. AA gun should be in visual range.
2 Lima Ford and Noble 1. Those guns are pounding us with high-velocity plasma shells.
Which would mean a strike by the frigate Grafton is also out of the question.
Noble 6, all our birds are stuck out of range unless you can do something about those guns.
So we're taking out the skirmishers here. Our gunner on the back of this Warthog is helping us out as well, but his life will be short-lived because we're actually going to kill him, unfortunately enough for him. The reason we do that is because we want to get in the gun ourselves, and if we do that, the Marine will actually be like, hey, I have a good idea, let me drive you around, and potentially just off a cliff. Their AI is not good at driving, so we're just going to kill him so we can stay put. We want to stay right here and just lay into this giant turret from afar. We could actually just take it out from this position right here. We don't have to go up and inside it and take it out by blowing up the core inside. We could just blow it up right now. So this Tyrant anti-air gun in front of us here will take a lot of hits from this Rocket Hog, but don't worry, just keep laying into him. There's no specific spot you need to be hitting or anything. Just shoot at it in general. Where I'm shooting it is fine, and it will blow up eventually. Just keep going at it until you actually see it blow up. But you can see it's smoking now. But anyway, we'll talk about the Iron Skull real quick. The Iron Skull sets you back to the beginning of the mission if you die if you're playing solo. So it negates having any checkpoints basically, but there's an easy workaround. Whenever you die, just hit start immediately, and then save and quit, and then resume once you get back to the main menu, and you'll start up at your last checkpoint. So it's a really handy workaround. The only annoying part is obviously you need to deload and then load back into the level, so it takes a little bit of loading time, but it's a lot better than the alternative. So we can see here, it looks like it's about to blow up. So I'm going to drive up here. You don't need to drive up here. I'm just going to show you what we're doing by staying over here. Do not move forward. Do not move to the right. You can see there's a Phantom coming in the middle of the map right now, kind of behind the gun we just blew up at this point. And there's going to be some UNSC forces that move in, and you can see there's a Phantom that just came over the edge of the cliff over there, and he has nothing on his undercarriage. He's not bringing anything into the fight. Normally, if we moved up, he would have brought a Wraith in, but by staying back here, we've effectively stayed in a different load zone than that Phantom was in, and I guess when you're in the load zone that the Phantom's in, it will spawn the Wraith under it, but if you don't actually go into that load zone quite yet, the Phantom will spawn, but the Wraith will not, so we basically just despawn that Wraith. So now that we've despawned the Wraith, UNSC forces that move in, drive up here, I'm just going to show you the really handy workaround. The only annoying part is obviously you need to deload and then load back into the level, so it takes a little bit of loading time, but it's a lot better than the alternative. So we can see here, it looks like it's about to blow up. So I'm going to drive up here. You don't need to drive up here. I'm just going to show you what we're doing.
Commander, I'm going to set up a forward observation post here.
Copy that. I'm waiting on you intel. See what you can see. Carter out. New intel, 6. Looks like normal weapons won't dent those AA guns.
I would suggest neutralizing the interior fuel cells, Lieutenant.
Control to Lima 4. Permission to commence bombing run. Heading 224.6, over.
Good work, UNSC air support. Skies are clear.
Copy 2 Lima 4, bombing run, heading 224.6, permission granted, out.
And there's going to be some UNSC forces that move in, and you can see there's a Phantom that just came over the edge that brought a Wraith in. But by staying back here, we've effectively stayed in a different load zone than that Phantom was in, and I guess when you're in the load zone that the Phantom's in, it will spawn the Wraith under it, but if you don't actually go into that load zone quite yet, the Phantom will spawn, but the Wraith will not, so we basically just despawn that Wraith. So now that we've despawned the Wraith, we're going to go up to this position and just wait right here. This will get the Pelican to come in and drop this bridge down.
6, take that south road and see if you can get a better look at those spires. I'll be on comms. Six, Pelican inbound with a portable bridge. Once it's in place.
And we could go over here unencumbered by a Wraith, which is great, because you will probably be able to drive past the Wraith, but you'll take a good amount of damage driving past him because his gunner will tear you up pretty well. So we're going to drive past here. You'll still take some hits probably from the Phantom.
Over to the southwest side. Bridge in position, 6. Keep moving toward those spires.
Wielding skirmishers over there. There's more skirmishers right here. You could either hop out and hide behind your Warthog and kind of headshot them and then move past them, or you could just move past them like I'm doing here. I used to hop out and just shoot them in the head real quick, but now I just move past them here. We're going to move forward, keep moving forward. Normally you go to the left and you cross the bridge. We're actually going to just keep going straight and kind of use our hog to hop up on the hood of, and then just hop up on this rock. And we'll be able to take out these guys from the side. So we flank these grunt.
Noble 6, there's a mining facility near your location. Covenant are using it as a command outpost. Troopers on site have already engaged.
Head here makes it much more easy to take them out, and we're actually going to cross the bridge eventually back the way we would have come normally if we played this game as it was designed. And there's actually some more DMR ammo over on the other side of the bridge, so we'll get that shortly. But I'm being pretty cautious here. You can see I'm kind of far away. You could move up considerably and still be pretty safe. You can see there's a lot of barricades down below in front of me where I could take cover, and these guys are actually distracted by all the Marines over there, so they're not really going to turn and look at me unless I get super close to them. So we could easily pick them off, and I'll just stay far away. Who cares? Why move up? Why move up if you don't need to? If you could land these shots, just land them. And now they're all dead, so we're going to move forward like we mentioned. I'm going to cross the bridge opposite the way the bridge was intended to be crossed, and just go grab some more DMR ammo that's on the other side here real quick. Not that I really need it or use it. There it is right there. And I'm just looking around for anything that may have been dropped by my friendlies. And this is a good way to get your shield.
New intelligence. Friendly forces near the Covenant outpost have sighted a high-value target. An elite zealot, in fact.
A zealot? We're onto something big, Commander.
Eyes on the prize, Noble. Take out that zealot if you get the chance, but keep moving toward the spires.
That I had a plasma pistol, and what I did was I overcharged plasma pistol the ground where my feet were, so the splash damage carried over onto my shielding, took it down enough, and took my health down enough that I could actually grab the health pack, because if you have full health, you can't grab a health pack, so brought my health down a little bit so I could get that health pack and get my shield and health all the way back up to 100%. Corner, kill those two skirmishers with a headshot, and then we're going to hop onto this beam I just zoomed in on, and then we're going to hop onto this beam towards the right, and then we're going to hop up onto the, whatever this is, the terrain, the earth, the rocky precipice over here, the rocky cliff, and so we're going... to hop under or hop over that pipe, go under the next pipe, and then we're just going to wrap around to the right and make our way this way. There's some health on the ground if you need it. And we're going to make our way up. We've despawned all the enemies in this area, except for these two jackals spawned for whatever reason. But you can just throw a couple nades at them and run past them. Looks like that was not the way to go. Probably should have just ran past them. Do as I say, not as I do. And we're going to just make our way to the hole in the ground in this building. I guess some kind of explosion occurred, or... We're going to grab the plasma launcher and grab some health if you need it. Again, the plasma launcher will come in handy against the hunters and any other big things that may come our way. And we're going to grab the Revenant right here, and we're going to use this to speed down to the next section where we have to take out another... air gun, and there's going to be a handful of enemies in the cavern here that we kind of traverse through, but you can just totally go past them. Don't even worry about it. I try to always splatter that elite, but there's no reason to try to do...
Update 6. Scans show another Covenant AA gun ahead of your location.
It's just fun. So we get down here, and we're going to kill the jackals down here to the right, and we're going to also hop into the warthog that's on the left side. It's kind of like on a bridge that looks like you can't really get to it, but you can get to it pretty easily. You just hop up onto the pillar here, hop to the second pillar, and then hop over to the...
Want you to neutralize that gun by any means.
grab that DMR ammo that's on the ground, hop into the Warthog here, and turn to face the anti-air gun and start tearing into them. It'll take less time than the rocket launcher hog did, so that's good news. But it gives us a little time to talk about some other things. What else is there to talk about? The blind skull is not great. No one likes it. But there's an easy way to tell what gun you have out, which is to hold the back button if you're playing on Xbox, and that will actually pull up a diagram of your weapon and your armor ability that you currently have. So it'll show you what weapon you have out in your hands, and then you just switch weapons and hold back again, and it'll show you the other weapon that you have. So very useful. You can see kind of a diagram of the weapon I have pop up from time to time on my screen, and that's what's happening there. So we are going to make our way. I forgot that I wanted to bring the Revenant down here. Don't park the Revenant up there. I don't know why I did that. I've never done this before. I'm an idiot. So obviously I would drive my Revenant over here, but it's not available to me right now, so I'm going to just walk over here. I'm going to go actually get the Revenant shortly after. This, and we're just going to start tearing into these guys with our DMR, because a lot of these guys could just be finished off with a headshot, all these jackals and skirmishers, especially since they are distracted by a bunch of Marines on the right. So we're going to take advantage of that while we can, and just tear into these guys, and then once we need to get some more firepower, I'm going to head back and get that Revenant, because there are 2 Hunters up here, there are 2 Wraiths that spawn up here as well, but most of the time they'll just back up, fall off the cliff, and kill themselves. So we don't really have to worry about or plan for them too much. If they do survive, you could always grab the grenade launcher once you've thinned out most of the enemies, and take off the gunner first, because you want him to tear you up while you approach it. But there's a grenade launcher over towards a downed Falcon on the opposite side of the map right now, and it's full of grenade launcher, and you could use the overcharge stunning capability to stun the vehicle, the Wraith, which is what we're talking about, and kind of approach it and then board it and beat the crap out of it and take care of it that way. So that'll be a very effective strategy against those once you clear out enough of the enemies where you're not going to be at risk of getting shot at from those guys. But we will shortly show you the location of that downed Falcon. But you can see I've whipped out the plasma launcher and I'm lighting up these Hunters. That's basically why I pick up the plasma launcher, solely for these Hunters, because they have a lot of HP in this game on LASO. So we're basically just lowering their HP. You might be able to kill one of them with all the plasma launcher, but you're going to run out before you kill both of them. So we are going to finish them off with a Revenant. And I think right about now, I might be heading back to get that Revenant. So I'm going to cut ahead, because I actually do get the Revenant. It takes a little bit of time, though. I got to think about how I'm going to get up there. I get up there, though. We'll see you on the other side of this cut. Oh, hey, you're back. Welcome. I have the Revenant. Basically, I just grabbed the Warthog off the bridge there, and I kind of drove it up against the wall. Able to just get enough height to get myself to be able to jump up on top and get that Revenant back. But just drive it down in the first place. You don't even have to worry about it. Anyway, we're going over here. There's only a couple enemies left that aren't hunters. We just splattered that elite guy. You want to be aware that the hunters can still melee you, even though you're in a vehicle. They will still just swipe you and possibly kill you in one hit. It's happened to me before. That guy took a big meaty swipe at me and did not kill me, fortunately, but I'm sure my health is not, very thankful for this guy or my, decision to drive up there right next to him. But we're going to hide behind these rocks and basically just poke our heads out and fire at them. Well, I'm trying to shove them off the cliff, which is not a good idea because, again, they could just melee you. But there's 2 left here, 2 hunters, and we want to kind of just strafe them. And when you're strafing them, eventually you're going to have to turn around or start going the other way. So you can see I'm going to left here, and I want to make sure that I stop strafing when there's something in between me and the hunter, because the hunters will shoot at you while you're strafing, but they will always miss. But when you change directions, that's when they're going to hit you. So you and now I'm going to strafe over here, and I'll stop strafing when I'm behind this rock, and I'll go back the other way. So always make sure there's something between you and the hunter when you stop going one way and change directions, because they will always land that hit when you're changing directions. That's when they decide to fire every time, of course. But we've taken out all the hunters. All the enemies in this area are dead, except for, I should mention, the drones. The drones actually don't come out and bother you if you don't go near them. The drones are inside the turret that we took out, and they're still alive. So if you go near it, even though you've blown up the turret, they will spawn and start attacking you. So don't go near that turret, even though it's totally wrecked and destroyed now.
Highlights the enemy now. Launcher right next to it in case those wraiths do spawn in, and though it's totally wrecked and destroyed now. Here's the Falcon I was mentioning, where there's a grenade launcher right next to it in case those wraiths do spawn in and don't kill themselves. You could use that grenade launcher to stun the wraith and approach it and just hijack it / beat it up and destroy it. There's some needle rifle ammo in that crate I was just at, along with that dome shield, which I don't use that dome shield. And we're just going to make our way over here. It doesn't matter what weapons you're picking up at this point, because you're going to spawn in with a different set of weapons once But you do want to make sure you grab one of those health packs. There's one over by the Falcon that I just picked up because this part is annoying and could take a few tries. I am going to die here, so it's going to phase in a little bit. I'll cut ahead to my successful run. I think I died once, maybe twice here, but you'll be able to get through this pretty successfully if you follow this pattern of shooting that I do. So we're going to come around this bend here, and we're going to start shooting at the opposite side of the bridge. That's where there's a handful of enemies. And then once we're past that section, we're going to start shooting behind this tree.
Spotted some nasty business in the canyon on the way down.
I'll call out targets as we go. Top of the canyon, dead ahead.
Quite shoot directly at these two turrets yet, but we could shoot behind them and they'll still get damage from splash damage. So keep firing. There's no reason you should stop firing at this segment. We want to shoot over the building at this point because there are enemies on the other side of it, so hopefully we'll get some damage on them.
Latest intel suggests these spies may be projecting electromagnetic cloaking shields.
Priority 1, pilot. Gotta know what's in there.
Affirmative, sir. Here we go.
We can even see them. And then we want to prioritize the Wraith along with any turrets that blast those guys. You could ideally blast them off the cliff, and then you won't have to waste time killing them as much. But then there's one final turret up ahead here, so kill that, and then clean up all the other enemies like jackals and grunts in the area. And we are on. The cutscene that will bring us to the right side of this area. We're going to cut ahead to that to save a little bit of time. Here we are, grab a health pack, and then we're going to make our way up to...
I'm showing hostiles all over the place. We gotta move. I've got Commander. We've got eyes on the spire. Looks like...
We're going to totally ignore all of the enemies for the most part. There might be a grunt in your way, so you might want to take him out. And there's also a, a skirmisher with a focus rifle. So sometimes I take him out. Most of the time I just leave him. I don't know why I decided to take him out this time, but we're going to move up in this direction, just kind of use these pipes as cover, and we're going to make our way up here. Sometimes, again, like I mentioned, there's a grunt kind of on this path that I just took, but sometimes there's not, which occurred this time. Usually he is there, though, so watch out for him. Then we're going to move up ahead here to this
staging area.
Copy. We have your visual. Not towards the problem. Stand by.
hop in, and we're going to drive straight to the door on this path. So we can see the pathway takes us right to this open door here, so hop out and get...
Noble 5 only believes those spires to be teleportation terminals.
To this doorway, then hop into this lift, and we're going to head up straight to the top of the spire, and we're actually going to use our sprint to sprint past all the enemies. They'll become startled at the top here, and then we're going to just assassinate the elite that's up here really easily. So we're just going to turn to the left here and hug the wall, and we're going to run up behind the elite here and backsmack him before he has a chance to do anything. Then all...
Frigate Grafton is on station ready to kill that spire. But first, we need to power down and shield.
Understood. 6. I'll hold these bars off. You find a way to the top of the spire. Don't believe it. 6 is on his way out.
Get in there. Take out that shield, Lieutenant. Spartan, I'm en route for the Falcon. We'll pick you up as soon as you knock out power to that shield.
just totally surprised by how brazenly you just ran up behind the elite and just assassinated them. They won't know what to do. You can just easily kill them while they're panicking.
Hurry, Lieutenant. We got a frigate inbound to blow that spire as soon as the shield is powered down. Lieutenant, drop the shield and get out of there.
What's up, guys? Silver here with part 5 of our Halo Reach LASO journey. We are starting up Long Night of Solace.
Control, this is Noble 1. Spire 1 is green and you're free to engage. Have a nice day.
Copy that, Noble 1. Be advised, all ground units. Frigate 318 Heavy is inbound, and MAC rounds have been authorized.
Mac rounds? In atmosphere?
One way to get their attention. Hang on to your teeth, people.
New contact. Isolation.
No, somebody tell me this ain't happening.
UNSC Frigate Grafton, do you copy?
Grafton is dust. We need to get out of here now.
Our foe is more devious than we imagined. That spire was indeed a teleporter linked to a cloaked Covenant supercarrier, a grave threat. Thankfully, help is imminent. 60% of the UNSC fleet is en route to Reach from
Sure, this
existing
one in Pillar Bottom would be
deployments.
top 2.
The first
We are
battle
going to
group
make this
should
easy.
arrive
We are
within
starting up Long Night of
48
Solace, one of
hours.
the 2 toughest missions for sure. This one in Pillar Bottom would be top 2.
48 hours?
We are going to make this easier though for you, like we always
That's
do. We're going to start
imminent?
up on the beach here, and we're going to just continue as we're supposed to be doing. But instead of actually fighting the battle here, we're going to turn left
Who's your
and go
money
over
on
here
this
and
time?
jump over this and make it into the water over here.
You always
And you're going to
pick
hit a
her.
soft kill zone, so you have 10 seconds
always
to
had him
get out of
dialed
there.
in.
But you're out of there at this point. Just stay about here. It
That
doesn't actually
thing's
show the soft kill
crushing
zone
us and
because
we're
of
waiting for backup. They'll be backing up a graveyard.
All our nukes are either out system or went down with the ships that carried them. You're preaching to the converted.
How converted?
I know that look, Cat.
You can say no.
No.
You don't even want to hear it.
Fine, I'll hear it.
Remember that accident a couple years back? Colony ship en route to Cygnus, 700 dead.
Vaguely a slip space drive malfunction, right?
Actually, it worked fine. The drive was mounted improperly after a service haulout. When it fired, it teleported half the ship to oblivion.
This is relevant. How?
What's up, guys? Silver here with another Halo Master
Second
Chief Collection
Covenant
achievement guide. This time we're doing
supercarrier
George
could,
Can't
with
Have
some
All the
assistance,
Big Guns,
suffer
which
the
is
same
use a
unfortunate
Pelican turret. So
accident.
this is done
Even for
in the
you,
Halo Reach
Cat,
campaign. You
that's
could do this
inspired.
on Long Night of
Not
Solace,
blurred
or
out.
you could do it on New Alexandria. I recommend
going
Long Night
on?
of Solace because it's a lot easier. You don't have to do anything
ahead.
weird or go out of the
Explain.
way to get to the Pelican. But start up
May
Rally
I?
Point Charlie, and you'll come to this
quick,
room.
sir.
You basically start on top of this room, actually, out in
Objective,
outer space on the
destroy
hull of
Covenant
the
carrier
Covenant
in
ship. And then you'll
geosynchronous
fall
orbit
through the
above
ceiling
us.
here, the shield door, or shield ceiling, I should say. And then we'll
Method.
clear out this
Slip
area. I've already
space
cleared
drive
out
in
this
lieu
whole
of the
area of
nukes
enemies,
we
so we can
don't
just
have.
walk through it real quick.
Delivery
This is the
system,
multiplayer map
us.
Zealot, and we're going to go through this
Solvable.
hallway. This leads to the
Getting us up
firefight
there.
map
and
Corvette,
getting our
actually.
hands on
So
slip
two very
space
close
drive.
maps right next to each other in the
Thank you for
campaign.
sharing.
And I've cleared out this room as well.
So,
And we're going to go hit this
all we
switch, and when we
need
do
is
that, there's a
orbit-capable
cutscene, and when the
transport and
cutscene
the
is
single
over,
most expensive
George will
piece of
have brought a
equipment made.
Pelican in here, and
As
we
a
want to hit this
soldier in the
switch.
field, I
And once he
couldn't
brings it in
possibly
here,
have
we're going
access
to
to
be
these
able
kinds
to
of
move up to the
resources.
front of the Pelican
That
here,
said,
and we're just going
a
to
good
kind
place
of
to look
crouch
might
along the
be
side of it and hold the
the
action
map.
button, and by
The
doing that,
newest
we'll actually be able to get
non-existent
into the
launch
Pelican
site
itself,
and
and we're actually in the
non-existent
turret,
Saber program
and
dismissed
we
by
can look
free
around. Right when you get in, you want to look down and start
administration
shooting, and that will actually destroy
And
the
in which our
visual part
newest
of the turret,
member
at least, so you can
is
actually look
certainly
around,
never
because
had.
otherwise you're kind
It's
of inside of it,
you
and you
know
can't
that.
really see what you're
All we
shooting.
need is a green
So if
light
you want to
from
look around
Holland.
and see what you're actually
Look at
shooting,
that.
look
You're the
down
one
real
asking
quick,
me.
start shooting at the ground a little bit. The splash damage will destroy part of the turret. You'll still be able to use the turret, but the visual part that was blocking your view will not.
Well, there's no way
Sonic
in
has
hell he's gonna
always
go
had
for this.
something of an attitude, but if you listen closely, the voice coming out of his mouth doesn't actually quite sound like.
We're going to start off Long Night of Solace, and both of these data pads are after the beach battle, but before you get into the Saber, so don't get into the Saber. We're going to go into the building here. There's this elite that we could assassinate. He kind of runs forward, so you could assassinate him and feel like a BAMF. But we're going to move up here and go through these doors,
Any
and
closer
there's
is
going
too
to be a glowing
Copy
blue
that,
table
Commander.
of sorts. It looks like a command table of some kind. There's a floating hologram above it, and we're going to go to the left here and hop up here, and you can see there's a data pad waiting for us right here. So we're going to take a look at this. The achievement will pop, and then shortly after this, we are going to go into the Saber room, which is actually Countdown, the multiplayer map, and we're going to grab the one in there. So we're just going to head to the doorway over here. I'm not even going to cut the video. I'm not even going to skip ahead. We're going to go through this door once they open it up. Come on, open it up already. You're going to make me have to blast through here. Or you're going to open it up. And I'm going to betray my my Marine buddy there accidentally. All right, whatever. We're going to move up here, and don't go up there or you will go to the cutscene and have to play through the rest of the mission. But about halfway up the stairs, just turn to the left and jump onto this platform, and it's actually on top of the structure up there. So we're going to go up here. There's a few ways to get up there. You can actually jump up there if you're good enough. It's a little tough of a jump, and we're going to try again. We're going to fail. What do you do if you fail? You could try doing a grenade jump, which that will get you up there as well. But if that's too tough for you as well, you could always jump into here. And this is a little annoying. You have to be crouching to get into here, or you'll be too tall to actually fit. So you want to crouch onto that and then jump over here, run up, and grab this data pad. All that work for just that would come through at least, but it doesn't. And making bottom would be top 2. We are going to make this easier, though, for you, like we always do. We're going to start up on the beach here, and we're going to just continue as we're supposed to be doing. But instead of actually fighting the battle here, we're going to turn left and go over here and jump over this.
Enemy transport inbound.
Hit a soft kill zone, so you have 10 seconds to get out of there, but you're out of there at this point. Just stay about here. It doesn't actually show the soft kill zone because of the blind skull, which is kind of weird. I figured that would come through at least, but it does not. So just follow this path and you should be safe. We'll be able to move past that entire battle. All the enemies are distracted by Noble Team actually taking the correct path you're supposed to be taking, and we're just going to make a beeline to this direction, and we're going to take out a Wraith that's going to land over here shortly. And you're going to find a bridge up ahead here, and we're going to hide like in this bridge. You can see there's kind of like two, there's the spirit right there that's bringing the Wraith in, and we're kind of hiding like in this little area so the spirit does not actually shoot at us. So hang here. When the spirit stops moving forward and pauses for a second, then you can move forward and come over here, and we're going to board this Wraith from behind. But you want to make sure that you actually board it from behind. That's important because if you board it on the front, the turret on the front will actually just shoot you off and kill you. So once you do kill that Wraith, just beat it to death. You'll have full shields because you will have meleeed it from the Black Eye Skull, and then you can hide under that platform for a little bit. But be aware that there's a soft kill zone there as well, so you have 10 seconds to come out from under there, or you will die. So we're just kind of hiding under there for a second so the spirit... here, and you don't need to do any of this part, but you will actually be able to speed things up considerably just by being in this position and picking these enemies off. But Noble Team will kill everybody for you if you just let them. So if you don't feel confident at all, or you're just... and you want to leave the room and do something else while Noble Team cleans up the beach, you could do that. Just find a little hiding spot where you're not going to be found, and let Noble Team do their work. But you could always just hang here and just pick these guys off with your pistol to speed things up. That's what we're going to do here. You can see they're doing a pretty good job of distracting these guys. They don't even look at us most of the time. But be aware of that concussion rifle wielding elite. But it looks like he's dead, so never mind. Don't worry about him. If you shoot him in the head and kill him, don't worry about him. Be aware of those needler rifle wielding jackals. They're usually closer to you on the rock where we were, and you can pick them off real quick, but sometimes they do move to that position. But we're going to grab a DMR, and I don't know why, because we're going to get rid of that weapon immediately. We're going to move up here, and there's going to be a Marine running at you, so grab his rockets. He always has rockets. Grab.
Everybody inside. More hostiles on the way.
Spartans coming in! Launch your fire!
I control this way. I expect
Still can't believe Holland said yes to this.
To this Marine who also has rockets, and we're going to kill him. So we're going to melee him to death. That should take like 3 or 4 hits, and we're going to take his rockets as well. So we guarantee we have at least 2 rockets, because
Some plans are too good to say no.
Let's get that Saber airborne before he takes the fly.
Control's right through that door, Commander.
but we'll guarantee that we have at least 2, and that's all we need, really. But we're going to hug the right wall as we sprint up and get behind this elite. For a one-hit kill from behind, and then we'll move up through this door, and we're going to move up to another door up here on the right. Actually takes a little bit of time to open up because there's a whole big reveal about the Saber ship that we're approaching. So we're just going to hang by the door here, though. And on the other side of this door, there's going to be a sword. And you want to make sure you grab that sword so you have a sword and rockets when you go to the next section.
George, 6, get to the Saber before the Covenant wreck it.
What about you and Cat?
June's on his way with a Falcon. We'll exfil after you launch. Move.
You heard it, 6. Let's go.
By holding the back button on Xbox. I'm not sure what the button is on PC, but hold that button and it will show you what you have. You can see I saw my sword.
Launch team. Saber is prepped and ready for launch.
You first, 6. I'm just a passenger on this lake.
In my hand. So hold the back button, it shows you what you have in your hands, then switch your weapon, hold the back button again to see what your other weapon is, and it shows your armor ability too as well. So we have rockets and a sword. Heading into this will turn you around, and we're going to use that once we get back on foot here. But right now we're in space, and you want to fly to the right. Right when you spawn in, you want to fly up and to the right, and you'll be able to see this big, pretty looking, I don't even know what it is. It's a bunch of stars or something, a bunch of nonsense. It's the biggest, brightest, prettiest thing in the sky here. So we're going to move towards that, and then it will, we won't be able to move towards that anymore because the end of the playable area. But we flew over here because this gives us a really good angle for the approaching enemy ships that are going to warp into existence over here. They're going to warp in right in front of us now, and we have a really good angle because they're going to be flying away from us and to the right. So just hang out here, and you'll know they're coming in after a bunch of dialogue occurs, and you'll be able to see them.
Noble Actual to Saber Bravo 029er, over.
Copy, Actual. Colonel Holland?
Affirmative, Noble 5. Welcome to Operation Uppercut. I'll be your control from here on out.
Understood, Colonel.
Noble 6, these Sabers have been customized for orbital
space. So just keep looking in this general direction. I'm flying around in circles because I don't want to get past the point where they fly in from. So I just want to make sure that they're still in front of me. So that's what I'm doing there. That's why I'm running in circles. And here they come. The first wave is some Banshees, and you can see they fly out in a straight line. So it's pretty easy to kill a bunch of them really quickly. I don't actually kill that many, unfortunately. So you could kill a straight line of them as they come out, but then you want to look down and to the right because there's a bunch more that are streaking up from below. So you could get like a killing there at this point if you're good enough. I was not good enough. I was used to that targeting reticle, which kind of leads the target if you're using a weapon that doesn't use hit scan. As in get to the target that you shot at immediately. It takes, you kind of got to lead the target. But because I was practicing LASO without the blind skull on, like a scrub, and now I got the blind skull on, and I don't have that that target to shoot at. But Anyway, we'll make do with it. So once we take out all the Banshees, we want to go back to that same position we were at, fly towards that pretty thing, and try to get in that same position, because there's going to be some Seraphs that come in, and the Seraphs are more annoying to deal with because they have energy shields that you have to deal with, so you actually have to...
Vince, you may need to get reacquainted. Rendezvous at Anchor 9 with Frigate Savannah and the other Sabres as soon as you're ready. Holland out.
Multiple unidentified contacts.
Savannah actual to Sabre teams. Be advised, we have bogies inbound.
Anchor 9 to all UNSC ships. Station defenses are down. Requesting combat support until we can bring them back online.
Here we go, 6. Show them what you can do.
Defensive batteries are at 56%. Hang in there, Sabre teams.
chain gun, and then once that happens, you can lock on with your missiles. So the missiles will actually not lock on if you don't have their energy shield down. So you want to make sure you drain their shields, and then you can lock on with the missiles. You can also finish them off with the chain gun if you want as well, but the missiles are more effective and faster. So here we go. They've spawned in, and we're going to chase one of them. Just pick one in particular that has kind of peeled off from the group, and you can hopefully divide and conquer. Now, if you start getting shot at from behind, a good way to avoid taking additional fire is to actually just do one of the saber maneuvers, which is kind of like the Banshee maneuvers. You could flip to the right or the left, or do a 180, but it's not really a 180. It's more of a flipping upside down and then starting to go in the other direction. But it's really effective because when you're getting shot at from behind, it means that there's a Seraph chasing you, obviously. So when you do that, when you do a flip and start going the other direction, the Seraph will usually just pass right over you or pass right by you and kind of just peel off and start ignoring you again because he doesn't have a good angle on you anymore. So that is definitely something to do if you're getting shot from behind. But we're going to continue fighting these guys, continue shooting at them, and there's actually a good chance that if you just don't do any of this, if you just totally ignore these enemies and go hide somewhere, that your friendly forces in the area will take these guys out for you. So I'm just showing you kind of the first waves of enemies that we can take out easily, because the first waves are not too bad. They're kind of like a tutorial for space combat. This is the first time there has been space combat in Halo games, so understandably, there's kind of some tutorial-esque waves of enemies here. And then we're going to have a big battle, and I'll show you where you can hide during that big battle, and your friendly forces will actually take out all of the opposing enemies. So you can just hide, really, for this entire segment if you don't like the space combat, which I could understand if you're not into the space combat. Some people are into it, some people aren't. It is an FPS game, so it is a little out of place slightly if you're just looking to run and gun the whole time. But we got to get over that. We're in a Saber. We're in a spaceship right now. Got to take these guys out. So we're going to clean these guys up, and then there's going to be a big wave of enemies that come in, like I promised. So I believe...
Saber teams, use your guns to take down their shields, then hit them with your missiles.
Taking fire!
Defensive batteries at 79%. Buy us another minute, Saber teams.
We'll see once we take them out if there's some more dialogue. They do get chatty. There are... Oh, here's another one. Never mind. I lied. But as we're taking this last guy out, I will talk about the Iron Skull. The Iron Skull is the skull that makes you go back to the...
Anchor 9 to UNSC ships. Impulse drive signatures detected. Fighter class. Heads up, Sabers.
Seraph, on my 6.
I can't shake this bogey.
Saber teams, use your guns to take down their shields, then hit them with your missiles.
Weapons free.
Defensive batteries at 79%. Buy us another minute, Saber teams.
Someone help me out. I'm taking fire. I need assistance now. Someone get this Seraph off of me. I can't shake this bogey. I can't shake this Seraph.
Nice shot.
I need assistance.
Todd. Can't shake this, Sarah. I'm taking shots. The shields can't take much more of this. Can't shake him. Taking the shot. Somebody peel this Seraph off of me!
beginning of the mission if you are playing solo. There is a workaround for that. I do die a handful of times in instances where it looks like the video amount of time. That's because I cut the part out where I died, and then I resumed my successful run. But here's the big wave back in action, and you really just want to focus on killing all those Banshees. The Banshees come in first wave, so you want to take out as many Banshees as possible, and then we're going to fly behind Anchor 9 over here, and we're going to park ourselves in a spot where you could hide for a long time and just wait for your enemies, or your friendlies, to kill all the enemies. But going back to the Iron Skull, the way to get those checkpoints back and to actually be able to use them is to immediately when you die, you want to hit start. So once you die, hit start immediately, then go to save and quit, and then when you go back to the main menu, you will hit resume in the lobby, and you will just resume at your last checkpoint. So you want to make sure right when you die, you don't let the game respawn you into the level, because that will respawn you into the level at the beginning of the mission. So that would not be good. Start, save and quit, resume, you're good. So I'm behind Anchor 9 right now, and this is a very safe space. Most of the enemies totally ignore this whole area. Sometimes you'll get one that flies by here. but most of the time not. And we're going to fly to the right side of the back of Anchor 9 here, and we're going to hold back on the joystick to slow ourselves down, and that will allow us to kind of crash into here, but not enough to kill us. And we will actually be able to wedge our nose into the bottom left of here and be able to take our hands off the joystick, and we'll just continue to fly into this corner until all of the enemies are dead. And then we're going to, when we want to get out of there, if we're flying to the bottom left corner, we want to fly up and to the right, because that will allow us to get out of there without actually killing ourselves. If you try
Taking the shot. Someone help me out.
Saber teams, use your guns to take down their shields, then hit them with your missiles.
Defensive batteries at 79%. Buy us another minute, Saber teams.
Seraph is chewing me up.
I'm taking fire.
Leaving the train. Seraph is all over me.
I can't shake this bogey. I can't shake this damn... I'm taking fire! I need assistance now! Hold your fire! I'm on your side!
Firing. The shields can't take much more of this. Taking fire! I need assistance now!
Someone get this Seraph off of me!
Weapons at.
Seraph is tearing the hell out of me!
Taking fire!
I can't shake this Seraph!
Weapons hot. Being hit by Seraph fire. I'm taking shots.
Firing!
Seraph's tagging me. I'm taking enemy fire. Seraph is firing. Taking fire. Rounds away. Seraph is chewing me up. It's tearing me apart. Seraph on my 6. Can't shake it. Weapons hot. The Seraph is all over me.
to fly in a different direction, you will crash and take a bunch of damage and die. But at this point, the Phantoms are coming in, and the 5 Phantoms are the last wave of enemies in this part, and we could actually just stay in the position we were in, where we were just hiding behind Anchor 9, but I decided I wanted to speed things up, so I'm going to...
UNSC ships. Impulse drive signatures detected. Fighter class. Heads up, Sabers.
Hitting rounds on targets.
Seraph is chewing me up.
Saber teams, use your guns to take down their shields, then hit them with your missiles.
Defensive batteries at 79%. Buy us another minute, Saber teams.
Taking the shot.
Somebody get this Seraph off my back. That bogey's trying to lock you.
One hot.
Seraph's tearing the hell out of me.
I need assistance.
I got locked.
Seraph has me locked. Sheriff is tagging me. Sheriff can't take much more of this.
Weapons free.
Sheriff's tagging me. Taking fire! I need assistance now! Sheriff has me locked. I'm hit!
On target.
Taking edge from Sheriff fire. I'm taking fire! My instincts is Sheriff! Excellent, Jim! Somebody get this Sheriff off my back! I'm taking a shot. Somebody peel this Sheriff off of me! I'm taking fire! One in a million. Weapons hot. Sheriff is firing. I'm taking shots. In the slip, 6. One hot. Being hit by Sheriff fire.
I can't shake this bogey.
Sheriff is firing. I'm hit. Taking edge from Sheriff fire. He has me locked.
Taking the shot.
Sheriff is tagging me. Firing.
Weapons free.
Section retract. These shields can't take much more of this. Taking fire.
It's a confirmed kill. Putting rounds on target. Noble, there's a fighter on your 6. Firing.
You know your way around a safe.
Anchor 9er to all craft in the vicinity. Be advised we show a large attack force inbound. Combat Air Patrol and Saber teams are directed to engage and defend the station.
Is there any place the Covenant isn't?
Anchor 9 to all UNSC ships. Station defenses are back online. Clear the lane. We'll light them up.
The Sheriff is all over me.
I'm taking fire.
Weapons hot. I can't shake this Banshee.
I can't shake this.
I can't shake him. Taking shots from that Banshee down and out. Sheriff has me locked. I can't freaking
Anchor 9 to Saber teams. Phantom signatures detected on a forward-facing vector.
Tackle these phantoms, and it's from below. We are going to fly as far down as we can and then come up from directly below them, because the whole battle is happening up there and it's not happening down here. So there's kind of a plane where the battle occurs, and if we just fly below that plane, we could just come up and attack from below. And then once we start getting shot at, once we start getting noticed, like right now, we could start flying back down and safely just hang out down here. So I like to try to fly towards this hurricane-looking cloud down here most of the time, which I'm not looking at right now. We'll look at that cloud later. But we'll head back up here, and you can tell where the phantoms are because it looks like they have a tiny little force field in front of them. So they're kind of tough to spot from below, but just look for a ship that has like a kind of a glowing line in front of them. It looks like a glowing line from our point of view, but I guess they have some kind of tiny force field blocking all the shots from Anchor 9's guns. So we're going to assist them with our missile pods as we get close to them. You can't lock on right away. You'll be able to hear your systems locking on, though. Unfortunately, you can't see how far away you are or anything because there's no information from the blind skull being on. But we'll make do like we do. We'll just keep flying up and down. And you're pretty safe when you're down here. Obviously, it gets less safe as you get closer to the Phantom, and you do need to get a little close to the Phantom to actually lock on, but you should be able to get away a few salvos before you get shot at. I got shot at a lot more than I usually do with this strategy. Usually safer than this. I mean, it worked out here. I didn't die or anything, but usually I feel like it's easier than this, but it's working out still. Maybe we have to fly up and down a few more times than usual, but here we go. It's working out. And again, you don't have to do this. The guns of the Anchor 9 system, the whole space station here, will actually take out all of these enemies without help from you, but just to speed things up. At least in all my tests where I just kind of let them do all the work, it worked out. So maybe there's some randomness involved where they might not take out all the enemies sometimes, but from what I've seen, they do pretty good work out there every single time. So we're just going to keep on flying around down below, and then we're going to approach from below like a Kraken about to strike. Maybe these should be called Krakens, but those are vehicles, massive vehicle platforms in Halo 5. I guess that name's already taken, even though this game came out first. But we're just keeping on doing the same thing here, waiting for these Phantoms to give up. They should just self-destruct. We all know how this is going to end. Reach might fall at the end, spoiler, but you know what? These Phantoms are going down first. So we're just going up, we're going down, poking our heads up, poking our heads back down. We're like ostriches one day, we're groundhogs another. But one good thing about this space battle, and thank God for it, is the fact that your shielding system on this Saber is not affected by the Black Eye Skull. So your shields will replenish along with the integrity of your ship, which kind of is a substitute for health. I think it's hull integrity or something like that. I can't read it on the screen right now because the blind skull's on. But yeah, it will respawn and replenish itself, which is very nice, because I don't know how I would go about meleeing somebody with a vehicle. I guess that's just splattering, but I feel like that would just kill you in this scenario. But we're getting close to the end here. The Phantoms, time is almost up. We're going up, we're going down. Bobbing for apples, coming up, spitting them back at the Phantom. I don't know what we're talking about here anymore. I just need this part to be over. The strats have been spoken. I'm stationed there. But we're going to skip the cutscene, and immediately when you spawn in here, you want to boost and dive down under this ship, and then you want to turn up right here, and you can see a bunch.
I'm out here, 6.
And you want to kill as many as possible. I don't do a great job here. You can get a killing air and more than a killing air here. I only killed like half of them or something, so they dove down and went to the right and the left. So I'm going to have to take them out the hard way. Killing air here. Turn up right 9, station there. But we're going to skip the cutscene, and immediately when you spawn in here, you want to boost and dive down under this ship, and then you want to turn up right here, and you can see a bunch of Banshees that are docked, and you want to kill as
Frigate Savannah in position. Saber team, sound off.
Echo 1, all systems nominal.
Echo 2, good to go.
Echo 3, systems good.
Echo 4, all systems online. Solid copy. We are currently jamming the Corvette's comms. Hit it hard while it can't call for help.
Agreed. Saber teams, clear a path to that Corvette.
Nice shooting, 6. Might want to clip her engines, Colonel.
Well, I don't do a great job here. You could get a killing air and more than a killing air here. I only killed like half of them or something, so they dove down and went to the right and the left. So I'm going to have to take them out the hard way. But it's great if you could actually get a bunch of kills under the ship, because then obviously you don't have to deal with them, flying around and attacking you. You could just kill them before they're even a problem, really. But at this point, we are going to kill the remaining Banshees, and then there's going to be some Seraphs that come into play as well. So we're going to have to fight them, and that's what we're going to be doing right now. But you can see I'm taking cover behind this ship. Most of the fighting and enemies are on the other side of this ship. This ship is basically running in a circle around the Covenant ship. So if you want to get your shields back, get a little reprieve from the battle, try to fly around behind this ship, which is circling the big battle. So it's not a guarantee that you'll be totally safe behind there, because some ships can fly around and at you, but you're much safer. You're much more likely to get your shields back when you're behind this thing. And also, he is actually helping you. He shoots at all the enemies as well. So you could actually prioritize the enemies that are being shot at by him, because they are going to be weaker, and you'll be able to take them out faster if you kind of team up and fire at the same enemy at the same time. but you can see that the Corvette engine's damage is 0-4. That's the current objective. But what you want to do before you damage those engines is actually take out all of the enemies that are in the area, because once you do take out those engines, there will be a bunch more enemies that spawn in. So you want to not have a ton of enemies fighting you at once. You want to be able to keep them separated, a divide and conquer mentality. So kill Group A, and then you'll be able to kill Group B later. So you won't have to kill Group A and B at the same time. Obviously, makes perfect sense. You know what I'm talking about. But we've killed Group A, so we're going to take out the engines right now. And another thing you want to be aware of is just because you took out all the Banshees and Seraphs does not mean you're safe here. There are a bunch of turrets on this big Covenant ship that you're actually firing at right now. So just be aware of that. You can see I'm getting shot at here. There's a bunch of guns on the backside. There are some guns, some pretty serious guns on the sides of the ship. So don't get too close to that ship. If you try to kind of fly right over that turret, it will do some pretty good damage on you. So avoid that. And take out these engines. It's taken me a while to take out these engines. I feel like I've been... Struggling a little bit here. I don't know why I can't shoot at them. They're not really moving that much. But we got 3 or 4 here, and we get number 4. There it is. And once you kill the 4th engine, there will be a wave of Seraphs that come in. So I'm going to hide behind my lovely, friendly ship over here momentarily. It looks like I got an achievement, Wake Up Buttercup, which is to take out the Corvette's engines and escort in under 3 minutes. I did not feel like I did it that quickly, but I guess I did. So even when you're struggling, you could get this achievement, I suppose. But anyway, we'll stay behind the Savannah for a little bit. And you can see that the Savannah's guns are firing at the enemy formation up here, and they're firing at a particular ship. So I'm going to try to combine fire with the Savannah, which is my friendly ship over here, like I mentioned earlier. But I'm looking to kind of, I don't know what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for an opening. I'm just hiding behind the ship. Just do all the work for me, which it probably will do all the work for you if you just want to be patient and hide behind the ship. But I'm going to speed things up here like we do. So it looks like we picked this one to take out, so I'm just going to keep firing at him. And maybe he was taken out. I don't know. I did one of those 180s. Yep, we took him out. So you can see if you get an enemy killed by the score popping up. So that's why I have the score on, is because I will know when I have killed an enemy. So that's very useful, especially on LASO. You could throw like a grenade around a corner and you're like, did I kill that guy around the corner with that nade? I'm not sure, but if you have the scoring on, you'll know if you killed an enemy and how many of those enemies. But we're getting close to the end of this firefight here. We're wrapping up, and we're going to board the ship momentarily, and we're going to combine fire, like I mentioned, with our friendly ship, and you can see how effective it is when you do that. I'm not even going to use my missile pods. I'm going to just keep at them with my chain gun, and combined with the other chain gun of the other ship, it's pretty quick to kill those Seraphs. So at this point, we got some dialogue saying, hey, you know, try to board that ship, baby. There looks like there's some weakness on the top. So we're going to go over here, and again, you can crash into the ship and die, so take it slow when you're coming in here, and you'll get the cutscene. We're going to skip it. We want to take out our sword, and there's going to be an elite that pops up through this shield door. It's more like a shield ceiling, but he pops up with a jetpack, and we're going to just slice him a couple times to kill him, and then we're going to sprint and jump over the whole shield door, and another elite will come out. We're going to take him out the same way, and then we're going to drop down onto this support beam and rocket one elite and then the second elite. So you want to directly hit them with that rocket to kill them, to ensure that you get the kill. A direct hit with the rocket will take them out, and then that way there are only 2 more elites alive down here, and then your Marine buddies will drop down here as well, and once they're down here and in
on target.
Enemy craft down. Dot, analyze all available data on that Corvette. Find a way inside.
Scans indicate a structural weakness surrounding a platform on top of the vessel.
Noble 6, set down immediately on that Corvette's topside landing pad.
Directly hit them with it to just crash into the ship and die, so take it slow when you're coming in here, and you'll get the cutscene. We're going to skip it. We want to take out our sword, and there's going to be an elite that pops up through this shield door. It's more like a shield ceiling, but he pops up with a jetpack, and we're going to just slice him a couple times to kill him, and then we're going to sprint and jump over the whole shield door, and another elite will come out.
Noble 6, the Savannah's countermeasures won't work forever. Find a way inside, and permanently disable that cruiser's communications. As soon as we're sure the Corvette can't squawk, we'll initiate uppercut phase 2.
Take him out the same way, and then we're going to drop down onto this support beam and rocket one elite and then the second elite. So you want to kill him, to ensure that you get the kill. A direct hit with the rocket will take him out, and then that way there are only 2 more elites alive down here. And then your Marine buddies will drop down here as well, and once they're down here and engaging the elites and distracting them, you could drop down, and we're going to run around, and you want to stay up here, and you want to get the attention of the elites because they will actually come towards you and fly up. But one good thing about the jetpack when they're using it is when they're jetpacking, they actually cannot shoot you. So you're going to see this guy jetpack up, and he's totally vulnerable. He's unable to attack. Me, so I'm just going to slice him once and kind of send him flying a little bit, and then I'm going to slice him again easily enough, and I'm going to do the same thing for that second elite as well. And then once you kill those 2 elites, we've cleared out the whole room, but you quickly want to make your way over here and grab a needler rifle, and then we're going to drop down here.
Noble 6, the Savannah's countermeasures won't work forever. Find a way inside and permanently disable that cruiser's communications. As soon as we're sure the Corvette can't squawk, we'll initiate uppercut phase 2.
Doorway, which is going to open up, and there's going to be 3 elites and 3 grunts and an elite, and we want to take out the grunts as fast as possible with the needler rifle, so we get to kill them with 3 bullets. We'll super combine and kill them, so you could quickly take them out.
Noble 6, the Savannah's countermeasures won't work forever. Find a way inside and permanently disable that cruiser's communications. As soon as we're sure the Corvette can't squawk, we'll initiate uppercut phase 2. to Savannah.
Over here and grab a needler rifle, and then once you kill those two elites, we've cleared out the whole room, but you quickly want to make your way over here and grab a needler rifle, and then once you kill those two elites, we've cleared out the whole room, but you
Enemy comm relay is now offline.
Copy that. Halting countermeasures, diverting all power and personnel to weapons.
All right, Noble. Let's get that slip space bomb on board. 6, head for the hangar.
want to make your way over here and grab a needler rifle, and then we want to take out the grunts as fast as possible with the needler rifle, so we get to kill them with 3 bullets. We'll super combine and kill them, so you can quickly take them out, and then the elite will probably retreat, which is fine with us, and we want to move this crate to kind of block the area. We're going to use it as a barricade. I'm just jumping up here to get more ammo again, and then we're going to go down here, and there are 2 plasma pistols on the ground that have 100 charge in it, so a full plasma pistol, 2 full plasma pistols, and we're going to go over here and continue knocking this crate. We want to have it situated like this, so on its back. Front. We don't want it standing up, so this is a perfect crate. We don't want it, if you do keep smacking it, you want to make sure you lay it flat again. You don't want it standing up. So it's easy to move because the gravity is not on entirely right now. It's a very low grav environment. But when we get into this room, we want to go up the ramp to the left, and we're going to prioritize this engineer. It takes 2 super combines to kill this engineer, so 6 shots, and then we want to prioritize the fuel rod wielding grunt down here.
Noble 5, meet him there.
Affirmative. On approach.
He's normally in a better position for me to be able to shoot and kill him easily. He's more often in the distance rather than up close. But we killed him anyway, and then we want to take out a handful of grunts while we're here. And you don't have to spend too much time in here. We're going to back up into the hallway we just came from, where we were smacking that crate around. And we want to make our way in there sooner rather than later because it is super safe, and the enemies will actually come at us, which is what we want. And we're going to do that right about now. So we're going to go behind that crate, and grunts will continue coming at us. We could easily super combine them, and elites are going to come at us as well. But with this crate, they can't really shoot at us that much because, again, like I mentioned in the Oni sword-based guide, they don't do a great job of shooting you in the head. They more likely will try to shoot you in the chest, and you can have your chest behind this crate and be safe from most of the damage they're going to try to dish out. So you can see we took out that elite. This elite's coming at us now. We're just going to pepper him with our plasma pistol, get his shield to pop real quick, and then we're just going to finish him off with a headshot real quick. Turn him into a unicorn. Give him that nice spike right in the forehead. and we're just going to really just rinse and repeat that whole process. One annoying thing is the fact that since the gravity is so low right now, the shots from the Elite's guns will actually push back the crate, so it's a little annoying, but nothing we can't deal with. I'd rather have the crates just get pushed back at me and take the damage for me instead of me taking the damage. So we're going to go back here, grab some more ammo as you need it. I don't really need it, but I want to just, keep as much ammo as possible on me. And eventually there will only be 2 elites left in this room, and possibly 1 grunt. They tend to not like to charge your position anymore once they realize all their friends are dying. So there might still be a grunt around here, so just be cautious as you're exiting this hallway. He might be on the left or the right side of your door there, so don't get flanked, or just be aware of your flanks, I should say. And we can move this crate up, and we will be able to shield ourselves from the 2 elites that remain, because one of them has a focus rifle, which is pretty devastating. This guy's all up in my business. Looks like I was unaware of the fact that there's a I went over here a little too soon, and that was pretty lucky. I was able to, or it was more skillful too. There was some skill involved there, but I did almost die. So we're going to move forward here. Now there are only 2 elites. You want to be a little more patient than I was, apparently. We're going to move up here, and the 2 elites like to hang out on the platform opposite us right now. So they're right over there by the door controls, and they're going to stay over there. They don't charge your position here, so we got to try to take them out from over here. So we could do that by kind of similarly employing the strategy of pistoling them with the plasma pistol from afar and just poking your head barely over the edge, so you could shoot them, but they tend to not be able to shoot you because they like to shoot your chest, and your chest is obscured by this railing type thing. So they do like to dodge around. They like to sidestep, but just keep peppering them. You'll land a few shots, and then you'll be able to keep their shield going down, and you'll be able to pop their shield eventually. I popped this guy's shield, and then I don't know where he went, so I cannot land the headshot. I don't know where he went, but we'll just do it again. We got a lot of plasma pistol ammo, and your plasma pistol does not drain that much when you're shooting these tiny shots. You actually have a lot of shots, so we don't really have to worry about running out of ammo anytime soon. The overcharged plasma pistol bursts drain it really quick, but these do not actually. Even with famine on, running out of plasma pistol is not something you really need to worry about. So spread that green gun love as much as you want. No worries there. And this guy keeps getting his shield popped by me, and he doesn't want to die. He just keeps retreating, keeps running away. I don't get it. He just wants to survive. It's a foreign concept to me. He should just give up and accept what's coming to him. And it will come to him here. There it is. Got the headshot. All right. So needle rifles are annoying to use in one way if you're actually trying to tear through someone's shields, because it will actually get them to dodge more, especially with tough luck on. Enemies are very aware that there's a super combine coming their way if they don't dodge, so we could actually use that to our advantage, which we'll do later, but right now it's annoying. So we're going to keep peppering these guys, and you could actually activate the door controls without having killed this guy, so when he gets to be by himself, he starts moving around more, and you have more of a window of opportunity to close the gap, and then just activate the door control, and then it will cue the cutscene, and you'll be able to just totally not have to deal with them. So that's what we're going to do here. Jump up here and activate the controls, and then this is a stupid thing I did. Do not do this. I pause here. We want to run to the door I'm going to run to as soon as possible, but I'm waiting here and trying to pick up this health pack. Don't do that. Immediately run to this right door, and we're going to sprint right here and sprint around the corner and immediately assassinate one of these elites. And you actually are able to more easily kill these elites if you do it right away, because you actually startle them. They get surprised by you if you get there right away. Unfortunately, my sprint was not charged, so I couldn't sprint around the corner quickly. But
6, go for those shield controls. I need in.
around more, and you have more of a window of opportunity to close the gap and then just activate the door control, and then it will cue the cutscene, and you'll be able to just totally not have to deal with them. So that's what we're going to do here. Jump up here and act. Controls, and then this is a stupid thing I did. Do not do this. Pause here. We want to run to the door I'm going to run to as soon as possible, but I'm waiting here and trying to pick up this health pack. Don't do that. Immediately run.
Noble 6, get that Corvette moving toward the supercarrier. Head for the bridge. Find the nav controls.
Got plenty of arms and ammo if you need them, Spartan.
Door, and we're going to sprint right here and sprint around the corner and immediately assassinate one of these elites. And you actually are able to more easily kill these elites if you do it right away, because you actually startle them. They get surprised by you if you get there right away. Unfortunately, my sprint was not charged, so I couldn't sprint around the corner quickly. But go to that right door right when you spawn in, and then right when it opens, your sprint will be recharged in time, and you'll be able to sprint to the left and take them by surprise. And the elites are actually a lot more easy to kill in that manner because they kind of are stunned for a little bit and just stand there. Here, we want to follow this path and then drop down here, and there's an elite. Kill in that manner will be recharged in time, and you'll be able to sprint to the left and take them by surprise, and the elites are actually
Savannah to Holland, sustaining major structural damage. We need to break off, Colonel.
Copy, Savannah. Our team is...
They kind of are stunned for a little bit and just stand there. Here, we want to follow this path and then drop down here, and
disengage.
kind of are stunned for a little bit and just stand there. Here, we want to follow this path and then drop down here, and there's an elite right there who you could assassinate, and for this guy, he's either right there or right on this station, and you could assassinate him as well. And the one thing that was stupid...
Copy, Savannah. Our team is in. Disengage.
that when you spawn back into this mission after the cutscene, you spawn in with full health, so that's why I couldn't pick it up. So I'm an idiot, and I wasted time, and I almost was unable to pull off that double assassination, which gets harder once the elite start.
Copy, Savannah. Our team is in. Disengage.
Break off! Break off! Hull breach! Reactor's flaring! Damn it, I'm losing her!
Savannah actual. Can you hear me?
Let's go, 6.
Anyway, we're going to move this crate, and we're going to move it and situate it with this concussion rifle. I grabbed the concussion rifle out of the crates behind me, so I'm more easily able to maneuver this thing into position. But you want to try to make sure that this thing is standing up on its side, so it blocks a maximum amount.
Savannah. Our team is in. Disengage.
Break off! Break off! Hull breach! Reactor's flaring! Damn it, I'm losing her! Open up!
Savannah actual. Can you hear me?
Frigate's gone, 6. Nothing we can do.
Noble, you're in deep with no cover. Get that Corvette moving and get the hell out of there!
I'm getting killed over here!
Man, that was ugly.
We're going to use it to block this door here. But I've skipped ahead here, and that is good enough for now. That's pretty good. We're going to come back and add... later, but for now that will suffice. And we're going to go down here and we're going to move this concussion rifle crate into this hallway that we're going to go through. And be aware of your plasma rifle. You don't want to lose that. I almost lost it into the hole there, but luckily I was able to grab it out of there. And we're going to just use the concussion rifle. I forgot almost to kill my friends. You don't want any Marines alive because they'll just gum up the works. But we're going to move this crate through the hallway here, and you can more easily do that with the concussion rifle ammo. So you don't actually need the concussion rifle to actually kill anybody or anything, or pull off any other tricks.
Check your file! Going in your file!
Tool to move this crate more easily so you're not, stuck here for a half hour moving this crate into position. So we're going to just do this a little bit. A couple more shots should be good. Once it gets around this bend, you are set for the most part. So we'll leave it at that. Back here and grab our plasma rifle, or no, plasma pistol that we were talking about. Make sure you don't lose that. And we'll move back in here, and we're going to use this crate like we've been using all the other crates, basically as a place to hang out behind so we don't get shot that much, and we could plasma pistol all the enemies over the top of it. So that's what we're going to do here. But here we are at the bridge, and there's going to be 3 different scenarios that you're presented with. The first one is no grunts are in the middle of the room looking at the hologram. The second one is only 1 grunt is looking at the hologram, which is what we have right here. And the other scenario is there's 2 grunts in the middle of the room looking at the hologram. The worst one is 2 grunts because that means you cannot sneakily assassinate all of the enemies in the room. If you only have 1 grunt, or if you have no grunts in that center area looking at that hologram, you can actually sneak around and assassinate all of the enemies in the room before they even know you're there. So if you do want to take the sneaky route, if you have 0 or 1 grunts in the middle of the room, you just want to make sure that you're keeping tabs on all of the elites and where they are and where they're looking, because a couple of them like to move around. So just make sure you're kind of aware of where they are. But I'm just going to aggro all these guys and kind of show you what would happen if you want to take the sneaky route. If you have 1 is 2 grunts, because that means you cannot sneakily assassinate all of the enemies in the room. If you only have 1 grunt, or if you have no grunts in that center area looking at that hologram, you can actually sneak around and assassinate all of the enemies in the room before they even know you're there. So if you do want to take the sneaky route, three different scenarios that you're presented with. The first one is no grunts are in the middle of the room looking at the hologram. The second one is only one grunt is looking at the hologram, which is what we have right here. And the other scenario is the worst one is 2 grunts, because that means you cannot sneakily assassinate all of the enemies in the room. If you only have 1 grunt, or if you have no grunts in that center area looking at that hologram, you can actually sneak around and So if you do want to take the sneaky route, if you have 0 or 1 grunts in the middle of the room, you just want to make sure that you're keeping tabs on all of the elites and where they are and where they're looking, because a couple of them like to move around. So just make sure you're kind of aware of where they are. But I'm just going to aggro all these guys and kind of show you what would happen if you had 2 grunts in the middle of the room and you weren't allowed to sneakily kill everybody. So that's why I just blew my cover. I just want to show you guys how to deal with this room if you are not given the good spawns and you're given the crappy spawns. So they are all aware of our presence, but we're basically going to handle these guys in the same way that we did when we were kind of hanging out between the maps Zealot and Corvette, the multiplayer map Zealot, Firefight map Corvette. When we were in the hallway, we had the box in front of us for cover, and we were peppering the elites from afar with the plasma pistol, and we used the needler rifle to super combine the grunts. The only difference in this section is really they are more likely to just kind of hide. They don't run straight at you. The elites don't run straight at you like they did in that previous section I was referencing, and the grunts don't do that either. So they're going to be a little tougher to take the shield down of, but it's not going to be too bad. So just be patient. We're going to move this box up so we can more effectively use it, push it more towards the doorway itself, so we can get a better view of the whole room while still being behind this thing. And I did mention that none of the enemies charge your location in this room. That is not 100% true. There is going to be an invisible sword-wielding elite that spawns in this room as well, so you want to keep an eye out for him because he will charge your location if given the chance. So just keep your eye out for any shimmers that may indicate there is an invisible elite. There was one right there, but that was not the sword-wielding one. There's going to be 2 or 3, I think, in this room. One is going to have a sword out of the invisible elites, so keep an eye out for that guy. And be careful if you poke your head out the door, because sometimes the sword elite will charge your position, but then retreat if you're shooting at him, and sometimes he'll kind of take refuge like right on the side of the doorway. So when you poke your head in the room, he'll just slice you from the side, so be aware of that as well. But we're just going to stay safely over here, but we're just going to finish this guy off from far, far away, so he has no chance of getting at us. So we finish him off there. That's probably the most dangerous elite in this room, so he's down. The second most dangerous guy is the concussion rifle-wielding general up ahead here, so he's probably hiding up there behind something. But we got another invisible elite up here. We're going to hide behind here again and just use this like we have been. Nothing special here, just pepper him from afar. sure exactly about and get close to him. So you could just, like being that far to the left, it's kind of scary over the. So we'll see. We're going to move over here quick and take him. So it's kind of to take out your here. We're moving up. He is now in armor lock, which is perfect. We could just keep firing. In campaign, there doesn't seem to be any behind him. Give him the old back whack, and that is a one-hit kill. And you don't have to worry about the EMP effect. In campaign, there doesn't seem to be any EMP that will take down your shield, so don't worry about that when the elite comes out of armor lock. So now our next task is to activate the bridge control, but we don't want to do that just yet. We want to put this crate back where we found it, or at least back in the same room that we found it. We're going to use this to complete that barricade we started before we came into this room. So just concussion rifle this back. You should have plenty of ammo. There's some concussion rifle in this crate itself, and if you run out of concussion, there's actually a bunch more up ahead here. Remember, we exchanged for our plasma pistol, so here it is lying on the ground still, and we have a bunch of concussion rifle ammo to deal with, where we could just fire this thing over to that barricade to complete it. So I'll skip ahead a little bit. So this is looking pretty good. We have our second crate up there, almost in position, and obviously when it gets close to being in position, we don't want to use the concussion rifle anymore because that will probably blast it further away than we want it, and it'll probably blast that first one we already have in place away as well. So start just punching it to move it, and then we will be able to get it nice and snug. The reason we're doing this is because enemies spawn behind this door, and by putting these crates here and making sure they're nice and and it will probably fire this thing over to that barricade to complete it. So I'll skip ahead because that. So this is looking pretty good. We have our second crate up there, almost in position, and obviously when it gets close to being in position, we don't want to use the concussion rifle anymore because that. Further away than we want it, and it'll probably blast that first one we already have in place away as well. So start just punching it to move it, and then we will be able to get it nice and snug. The reason we're doing this is because enemies spawn behind this door, and by putting these crates here and making sure they're nice and flat against that door, they won't be able to move through and attack us. So we're going to go up here, and we're going to put our needler rifle down on the ground here, actually, so we can have some ammo when we come up here. So I'm just going to juggle some weapons, leave the needler rifle right about there, so it's through the doorway. And now we're going to make our way back to the bridge, and we're going to do a little more setup in here. We want to effectively have a plasma pistol, which we could grab from one of the grunts, and we want to have a needler rifle as well. And there's a crate of needler rifles in this room, so we're going to grab a plasma pistol off the ground, which we did. the crate, which is on the side over here. We're going to grab this in a hot second. Here we go. We're running at it now. So on the left side of the door as you enter, there's going to be this crate of needler rifle ammo, unless it got displaced by a plasma nade or a concussion rifle round or something, but it should be somewhere in the room at least. And this is the control panel we want to activate, but we're not going to do it just yet. That's a tease. I ran up to it acting like I was going to hit it. We're not going to hit it yet. We're going to go over to this crate of swords, and we're going to grab a sword, and we're going to use it to move some crates over into this doorway that we came from. So there's going to be some enemies that spawn in the hallway here when we activate that control switch. So what we want to do is make sure that they don't retreat into the previous room, because once you kill enough of them, they'll just run away into the previous room, and then they'll be more annoying to kill. So we're going to slice a crate back here, so it's in the way, so they won't be able to get past it. And you don't have to use a sword to do this, but it's just obviously easier to use a sword because it sends the crate flying much more easily. It's more easy to move crates with a sword than just a regular melee. And you don't have to worry about running out of sword energy or anything, because these swipes do not take away any sword energy, so that is good news. Now I'm going to use the sword crate itself to complete the barricade. Keep swiping, I'll skip ahead a little bit. So here we are with our almost completed barricade. You want to make sure these barricades are flush with each other or flat to the wall and themselves. You don't want it to be like a sloppy barricade with holes and stuff in it, because then the elite could just kind of push it out of the way. But if it's a nice tight structure, you won't have the elite be doing any of that. So they'll just kind of be stuck on one side of it. So then we're going to go back into the bridge and grab a plasma pistol, exchange it for your sword. So now you have a needle rifle and a plasma pistol again. And we're going to go up and we're going to actually activate the switch up here this time. Go up here, hit the action button, have the barricade. You want to make sure these barricades are flush with each other or flat to the wall and themselves. You don't want it to be like a slot. Grab a plasma pistol. So then we're going to turn around and there's going to be some grunts, and we're going to go up and we're going to actually activate the switch up here this time. Hit the action button. So then we're going to turn around and there's going to be some grunts, jackals, and one elite that spawn in that hallway we were just barricading. And we want to tear into the grunts with our needler rifle to get the super combine. We want to do the same thing for the jackals. They're obviously a little tougher because they have that shield, but you could shoot their feet and you could shoot their hand through that little notch in their shield. There's that kind of cutout where they shoot from. You could actually shoot that and they won't be stunned, but since it's a needler rifle, they'll probably just dodge out of the way.
Well done, Noble 6. Uppercut initiated. Corvette is underway.
6. Our right out of here is taking heavy fire. Get back to the hangar.
You'll be able to land a couple more shots for the super combine. And then for the elite, we're just going to pepper from afar like we do with most elites. And he's not too bad. He doesn't have any devastating weapons or anything. And there's a lot of cover in this room, so once you're... one hallway. It's to continue on fighting these guys here. We're wrapping up here to the enemies over here and not be that accurate, just kind of firing at will. But you should probably pace your shots a little more than I did here and land more shots. Generally a good idea to hit more shots if you can, you know. But we have plenty of needler rifle ammo, so that's why I wasn't too concerned about it. And we have more needler rifle waiting for us that we planted earlier, and there's actually a ton back on Corvette, so we don't have to worry about it too much. But you can see we only have one enemy remaining. It's the Elite, and normally he would run away at this point because he has lost all of his buddies. But you can see he's not moving anywhere because we set up that barricade. He has nowhere to go, and we're just going to move up to this cover and poke our head out a little bit, shoot a few shots, duck back in, and then basically just repeat until he loses his shield, and then we'll just pop him in the head with a needler rifle round for the one headshot kill. Then we can move forward, and we're going to reload and grab the needler rifle ammo that we planted up ahead here, and we're going to see that the barricade we put in place is going to keep the enemies that spawn in there cornered, so we could just easily move up and just totally bypass them. So that's what we're going to do here. And even though we've barricaded them in there, I'm still going to be sneaky and go to the left because I don't want them to be aware that I'm over here in case they decide to just bypass the
At your earliest convenience, Noble 6.
barricade somehow. We want to hedge our bets here in case they somehow find a way to bust through. They get some crazy strength, infuriated by the fact that I'm over here. But anyway, as we come into this section, you can see there's a bunch of needle rifle ammo in this crate. We're going to grab what we can and then shoot these guys. You could just lay waste to these guys. They're all distracted by George in the middle of the room here, so you could easily take out these jackals and grunts with the needle rifle. And then once you've taken all those guys out, grab some more needle rifle ammo before we head in here, and we could actually just sneak up behind this Elite and assassinate him, most likely because he is distracted by George again. So no need to start firing at him with any plasma pistol or anything. Just kind of sneak up behind him. There's a lot of cover in this room, so he should be easy to get around. And then once we kill all of the enemies that are initially in this room, we want to turn to this door, and there's going to be some jackals that walk through. 4 jackals walk through, and also 2 jackals are going to be up.
At your earliest convenience, Noble 6.
as well. And then down below, there's actually going to be enemies that spawn through this door. This is the more aggressive strategy that I'm showing you right now. We run up here where we killed those 2 needler rifle wielding jackals, and then we lay into these grunts over here. And again, this is the more aggressive strategy to go about. It's not too tough if you actually going to. So rifles, so we could go grab their jackals. Are going to this room. We want to just kind of sneak up behind them. There's a lot of cover in this room, so we should be easy to get around. And then once we kill all of the enemies that are initially in this room, we want to turn to this door, and there's going to be some jackals that walk through. 4 jackals. Are going to be up and to the right of that door as well, up the ramp here. And the 2 jackals up on top of the ramp actually have needler rifles, so we could go grab their ammo once we kill them. There's also additional ammo in crates on the opposite side of the room on top of the ramps. So opposite of where I am now, you can see a crate, and there's one on the right side as well. And then down below, there's actually going to be enemies that spawn through this door. This is the more aggressive strategy that I'm showing you right now. We run up here where we killed those 2 needler rifle wielding jackals, and then we lay into these grunts over here. And again, this is the more aggressive strategy to go about. It's not too tough if you know where all the enemies are spawning, but the way to do it, if you want to be super conservative, if you're not confident, is to go get in the Pelican turret. And when you're in the Pelican turret, you are invincible, so it's basically a foolproof way to get through this final room, though it will take more time probably, but it's a lot safer, and it's basically a guarantee that you're going to win. So I will show you how to get in the Pelican turret right now. It's a very easy thing to do. There's a couple health packs over here if you want to grab some. I'm going to grab some, and then we're going to go next to the turret. We could actually just crouch towards the nose of the Pelican and hold the action button, and it will send you into the turret itself. So you can't see anything at first because the gun itself is visually impairing you, but if you just look down at the ground and start firing, it will actually destroy the turret visually, but it will actually physically still be there and be invisible, and you can fire it. And you can see we're kind of in the turret itself, because when we fire, it's just a big flash. It's kind of like we're staring down the barrel of the gun that we can't see. All we can see is the flash of the gunfire coming out of the barrel. But basically, just hang here. You'll get an achievement if you haven't already gotten this. George can't have all the big guns. Use the Pelican turret. So there you go, a bonus achievement here. But basically, you just hang out here for the rest of the mission and just fire at all the enemies. The thing that might make this annoying and might make it longer is the fact that sometimes the enemies like to hide behind things, and then you're just kind of unable to move and change your position because you're obviously stuck in the turret. But one thing to mention is you can get in and out, but since I actually visually destroyed the Pelican turret, it may despawn eventually at some point, and you won't be able to get back into it. So you could just stay in there for the whole time and not risk it despawning on you. So I'm not going to stay in the Pelican turret. I'm going to show you the more aggressive strategy. But if you're not confident or comfortable doing any of this, just totally stay in the Pelican the whole time. Right when you get in this room, you can go into that Pelican at any point. So just get in there and stay in there and be safe and cozy in your Pelican invincibility turrets. But if you want to be more aggressive with me, we're going to go up here onto this platform and kill the elite from above, because there is going to be more enemies that spawn in, and we want to be at this position once that happens. So we're going to pepper this guy as he's distracted by George, and we're going to use that ledge for cover like we've been doing. Just shoot right over the edge, and then we're going to move over here, and in this doorway, there's going to be a bunch of grunts that walk through. So I'm going to kill them, and once 3 of them die, I believe, the elites to my left spawn. So I'm standing at this doorway strategically. So when this door opens, the elites are taken by surprise, and they go into their angry animation where they kind of roar and throw their hands in the air, and that allows me to easily wrap around both of them and assassinate them before they can do anything else, before they get out of that animation. And then that will spawn in the 4 final elites, and one of them spawns right here where we are. So we do the same thing basically, just wait for him to spawn in. He'll get angry and startled, and we can assassinate him. And then there's basically 1 elite that spawns at each of the 4 corners. So we killed the one that we were at here, the one that was on our side of the room over here, just kind of walked over this catwalk and came at us, and we assassinated him. And we're gonna move over here, and now at this point I'm going to realize that the Pelican turret is despawned. I try to get in it to no avail. So basically I'm going to have to continue being awesome and killing these people on foot without the invincible Pelican turret. But that's alright, we killed the first 2 of 4 in the final wave, and we'll kill the final 2 on foot as well. So we're going to basically just kind of wait until they're distracted by George. George is still in the middle of the room. He's constantly there. He can't die, so always just go hide and rely on him to start getting the attention of the elites once more, and then you can kind of try to wrap up behind these guys and assassinate them. But if you start approaching them and they turn around and start firing at you, remember that you have the needler rifle, and you can use that to get them to dodge and start jumping out of the way or go into armor lock, so then you can easily just assassinate them or retreat, whatever you feel is best. But that's what we're going to do here for these final 2 guys. I make sure I have my needler rifle out by hitting the back button, and then we're going to engage them from behind, not like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. We're almost done with this mission here. We need to focus. So you can see here I'm trying to assassinate this elite. Whenever an elite dodges or kind of sidesteps, he's always going to come up facing the way he was facing initially. So if he dives forward, backwards, side to side, he's always going to be facing in the same direction. So you can use that knowledge to kind of position yourself appropriately when he does come out of his roll or his dodge or sidestep or whatever. And then you can hopefully land that assassination. This guy is not taking his assassination quietly. But another thing to note is when you're doing this, when you're kind of shooting your needler at this guy and he's dodging around and everything, it's all well and good until you find that you need to reload. So just be aware that your needler rifle will run out of bullets, and you'll have to reload at one point, and when that point comes, you will be vulnerable. So hopefully you'll kill the guy before that happens, but hopefully you'll pace your shots as well. So don't just fire at will. You want to kind of shoot 2 or 3 times each time he pops up, and that will get to the dodge again. Don't keep firing at him unless he goes in armor lock, and then obviously you want to keep firing until you're in position to assassinate him, and then you could actually stop firing, he'll pop out of it, and then you could just kill him with the back smack. And that guy went down after armor locking briefly, and that is the end of this mission. That was the aggressive approach. Obviously, the Pelican turret where you have infinite health and bullets is a great option too if you're not as comfortable. And I'm going to throw down a dome shield here right on this area, and that will get the dome shield to be in the cutscene momentarily. So that's just something I like to do. But that's a wrap on Part 5, Long Night of Solace, one of the hardest missions in Halo Reach. I will see you next time for Part 6. be aware that your needler rifle will run out of bullets and you'll have to reload at one point, and when that point comes, you will be vulnerable. So hopefully you'll kill the guy before that happens, but hopefully you'll pace your shots as well. So don't just fire good until when he does come out of his roll or sidesteps. He's always going to engage them from behind armor lock, so then you could start getting the attention of the elites once more, and then you could kind of try on foot as well. So realize that the Pelican turret has despawned. I try to get in it to no avail. So basically I'm going to have to continue being awesome and killing these people on foot without the invincible Pelican turret. But that's alright. We killed the first 2 of 4 in the final wave, and we'll kill the final 2 on foot as well. So we're going to basically just kind of wait until they're distracted by George. George is still in the middle of the room. He's constantly there. He can't die, so always just go hide and rely on him to start getting the attention of the elites once more, and then you can kind of try to wrap up behind these guys and assassinate them. But if you start approaching them and they turn around and start firing at you, remember that you have the needler rifle, and you could use that to get them to dodge and start jumping out of the way or go into armor lock, so then you could easily just assassinate them or retreat, whatever you feel is best. But that's what we're going to do here for these final 2 guys. I make sure I have my needler rifle out by hitting the back button, and then we're going to engage them from behind, not like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. We're almost done with this mission here. We need to focus. So you can see here I'm trying to assassinate this elite. Whenever an elite dodges or kind of sidesteps, he's always going to come up facing the way he was facing initially. So if he dives forward, backwards, side to side, he's always going to be facing in the same direction. So you could use that knowledge to kind of position yourself appropriately when he does come out of his roll or his dodge or sidestep or whatever. And then you could hopefully land that assassination. This guy is not taking his assassination quietly. But another thing to note is when you're doing this, when you're kind of shooting your needler at this guy and he's dodging around and everything, it's all well and good until you find that you need to
Targets acquired.
And then you can hopefully, the way he was faced from behind, not like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. We're almost done with this mission here. We need to focus. So you can see here, I'm trying to assassinate this elite. Whenever
Those aren't friendlies. This ain't good. Move it! Affirmative. Clear. And stay down.
Savannah did a number on the door.
There's no way back up to the Sabres. Noble 6, form up on me.
Distance is closing on this vessel's refuel.